remember that one news story with the University of Oklahoma where the that one dumbass student submitted a god-awful transphobic essay to their trans teacher, and their trans teacher gave them a 0, not because of, like, ideology reasons, but because the essay was just so poorly written? Well, we got an update on that, and the trans teacher has been fired. And while the thing that really makes the story horrible is, like, the rise and normalization of transphobia on a professional sphere, and how this, like, blatant attack on, like, a trans person just living their life, like, actually was successful, I know this is not the point, but I do really want to know what the University of Oklahoma was thinking, because from a business perspective, and, like, with how expensive universities are in this country, like, they are very much businesses, this was, like, by far the worst thing you could have possibly done. And I don't even mean that from, like, the lens of valuing, like, ideology or, like, stupid things, like morals and principles. Like, if you are working at that university and your ultimate goal is just to get the university, like, out of headlines, just so you can, like, continue on as business as usual, firing that teacher was the worst possible thing you could have done. Because the thing is, that essay was posted online in full. So not only have we all had the opportunity to actually read it, we all, like, can tell that a 0 is far too generous of a grade. And if you're confused on how a 0 could be too generous, that's because if I was the teacher in that situation, I'm taking that essay to the administration so that way we could start a full-blown investigation into the student, because I do not believe, like, your high school diploma or your SAT scores that you submitted. Because if you're seriously operating, like, in writing at a level that is so fucking bad that I think if an 11-year-old submitted that to their 6th grade, like, literature arts teacher, they would get a C at best. Like, there's no way you actually, like, got into this college. And in case you think that I'm exaggerating, that essay is so god-awful that genuinely, if I didn't believe that Samantha Fuldecki, who is, like, the name of that dumbass student, if I didn't genuinely believe that she was so fucking stupid as to, like, write this, like, I would assume that she posted this online, like, as a form of self-harm. Like, are you into public humiliation? Like, what's going on here? Because even if you're really dedicated to some bigoted plot where you're scheming to try to get this, like, random person fired because you don't like, what they represent to you, and you're just an entitled fucking dumbass, so you think, like, this is a logical thing to do, like, you should at least still have enough self-respect to not want that essay to ever be associated with your name. Back to the University of Oklahoma, if you don't really understand, like, why I can tell that this is going to be so bad for them, just put yourself in the headspace of a high school student in Oklahoma, because obviously those are the only people who would ever willingly submit an application to University of Oklahoma. Because if you're just some kid in Oklahoma and the world is on fire, the only reason why you would ever go to college with how prohibitively expensive it is if you wanted to get a degree, so that way it can, like, open doors so you can get, like, a bare minimum job in a god-awful economy. Because if that's your reality and you see the story going on, and keep in mind, like, the average kid's goal with going to college, because of how expensive it is to get a degree so they can get jobs, but everyone can see, like, just how god-awful this essay is. And, like, not only does that mean that, like, people are going to be questioning you going to University of Oklahoma because of, like, the fact that this one student was even allowed to get to the point where she could submit this essay in the first place, but the university itself defended this and said, like, yeah, actually, we're just gonna, like, fuck over this random professor we have just to, like, appeal to this god-awful nonsense. So now if you're that high schooler, there's no way in hell you would ever want to go to the University of Oklahoma, because not only are you going to, like, get yourself in, like, a lifetime worth of debt to get, like, some piece of paper, that piece of paper isn't even going to get you jobs, because you're not able to show that piece of paper to anyone without becoming a fucking laughingstock. And as for, like, all of the people who have already graduated from University of Oklahoma, they're not going to be, like, giving you any kind of, like, oh, I'm an alumni, like here's a check kind of money. Because now they have to deal with being embarrassed every single time that they have to tell somebody that they attended that university. Because University of Oklahoma has basically announced to the world, hey, we fucking love protecting absolute dumbasses. Like, our academic standards, just absolutely god-awful. You shouldn't hire anybody who attends this college. And keep in mind, all of that's not even taking into consideration everything that's going on politically with our government actively trying to dismantle academia. Like, to have all of that going on and still decide to really just announce this sort of, like, bell toll that rings for thee. Like, why would you do that? Like, you literally, like, you ruined your entire fucking institution. Now you're all gonna be out of jobs. Because even if your prospective students, like the high schoolers in Oklahoma, even if they didn't give a fuck about trans people, and even if they're actively transphobic, they don't want to go to your institution. And I don't know what the plan was supposed to be here. I really don't think the university even has one. Because, first of all, you're not going to survive more than, like, a few years, given that to keep your whole institution running, since you're not getting funding from the government, you need that tuition from prospective students. And nobody is going to even be applying. But also, even if you, like, manage to, like, wait out everything going on until, like, we have, like, woke 2, like, the woke renaissance, even if you weren't, like, actively being transphobic, which is enough to kill you, like, the thing is, like, woke is very much associated with academic standards, which is why, like, fascist and, like, really fucked up bigoted people are always trying to cut funding for it, because reality, like, always supports woke. So even if they make it to, like, a period of time where, like, academia is actually being funded, like, they're still going to go under. And of course, the mere fact that somebody is bigoted does bring their level of intelligence into question, but, like, you should at least be self-interested. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Because it's to the point that, like, I don't even feel bad for, like, all of the other professors who have, like, no say over, like, what the administration of the university decides. Because a part of me is like, okay, even if, like, they are going to be going through, like, really difficult times, like, without having a job, especially in this economy, at the very least, at least they're free from the shackles of, like, being associated with that dumbassery, you know?